welcome back to another hot spec versus hot flip episode. Here is a magazine, and I think that this could be part of the reason why it did not perform as well as, say, Strange Tales 180, something a video that I shot previously. Marvel Preview, issue 7, first Rocket Raccoon. Okay, dare I say that Rocket Raccoon is more beloved than Gamora is as far as Guardian of the Galaxy? I think most people would agree, right? Even though he's not a human character, certainly there is a lot of love. But this was a hot spec, a very popular hot spec that blew up at the early stage of Guardian of the Galaxy. And if you take a look at what's going on with the price action of many grades, certainly this book has struggled. Okay, it's one of those books that, if you pay now 9.8, unfortunately doesn't have a heck of a lot of action. It's a very rare book to find 9.8, so we can't really say what's going on with 9.8 prices. Okay, so let's exclude that in this video, but let's take a look at 9.6. Take a look at that. Look at that big jump, and then really struggling. Okay, the downtrend, the downdraft is fairly pronounced when it was over 3,000. Look at that. Yeah, when this book got hot, it got really hot, and it struggled to stay up. Okay, unlike Strange Tales 180, if you look at go back and watch that video, you can see that for the 9.6 books, it did not. There was a pausing moment, but then it started climbing again. This book, it went down, it paused, it went down again. Let's take a look at 9.4. Woo! That chart is not pretty. Okay, you see, this book didn't even exist in a 9.4 slab until the movie. Okay, until of course the announcement of the character. So there's no data prior to 2014. And look at this. Not a good investment of any sort, right? It's a book that if you buy high, you're in trouble. If you go in there and pay top dollar on any given year, you are overpaying. And this go in just about all the grade, even like the books that you see Green Arrow here in the mid-grade level. Let's take a look at 8.0. Look at that. Okay, the Green Arrow doesn't mean a heck of a lot, because take a look at this book. Big spike in 2014, right? It got real hot. Okay, this is more indicative of hot spec book in general. But even if Rocket Raccoon is well loved and will appear in many more other movies, this book in mid-grade just can't get a break. Alright, so there you go. An example of a hot spec. Look at even low grade, 4.0. Okay, didn't help. Someone paid 380, oh, 360, my bad. 360 for a copy. Goodness gracious. Now you can't even fetch $100. So yeah, definitely not a good example. Well, it's an example of a hot spec that couldn't hold its value over time. And the odd thing about this is the census. Okay, this add a new layer to the discussion here, because just look at total census. That's low. Okay, census didn't blow up. This is not an easy book, easy magazine to find. Not even 500 copies. Look at this, 9.8, only 5. 9.6, only 22. Look at that. Okay, so it's a very hard book to find high grade, and that did not help the price. So that says a lot about the market. Comic collector can be strange. Some comic collectors just don't care to buy anything that is not a comic book. There's some OCD going on there that I can't really explain, but I can only guess. That's why many high grade key collectors is not chasing after this book, not bidding after this book, and not propping up the price because it's not in their wheelhouse. They don't buy magazine. If you agree, let me know, because it's hard to explain how this book performed so poorly over the last few years because the census didn't blow up. People didn't, rush to submit this book. It was hard in a very small little circle. Now that you see the hot spec portion, here is the hot flip portion. Now I got this back from CGC recently, and as you can see, it's a 9.4, beautiful white page, and I bought this February of this year. So you're talking about 6 months later, give or take, from the time I bought it, clean it, press it, all that stuff. But I checked my price when I paid all that stuff with the cost of slabbing and shipping and everything, $150. I rounded up. So it was a no-brainer. A perfect example of a book that I love to flip. Okay, I see it. I thought to myself, it's gonna be at least a 9.2. I think that was my prediction in my video before I submit the book. It looks solid. Sure, it needs press and clean to get to at least a 9.2. But at that price, I said to myself, if it's a 9.2, easy double. 9.4, at least a triple, right? So it's just the exact kind of thing that I look for whenever I surf on eBay. Okay, I go on eBay twice a day, once in the morning and once after dinner for a few minutes, and I don't look for anything specific. I already know what can be flipped. Okay, I talk about this in other videos. High grade, silver age, classic covers, keys, you name it. Low grade, even low grade. Okay, nothing is out of the realm of me checking it out. Okay, I check things based on price range. If a book, doesn't matter what the grade is, if a book is within $50 to $150 and I know I can double my money, it is a no-brainer to pick it up. And this is a perfect example of such a book. Thanks for watching this episode of Hot Spec versus Hot Flip. Until the next one, bye bye.